Hey, this is Matteo Lane.
I'm Emma Willman.
And this is Inside the Closet.
Inside the Closet.
All right, we're back with another episode of Inside the Closet. I'm sitting in an empty studio with Emma on the phone.
And I am in a lobby of the Airbnb I'm staying at.
So, first of all, this is how dedicated we are to our 8 fans, that we are doing an episode across the goddamn country, making Emma wake up early.
No, you know what? It was funny because when we were setting up a time, Matteo and the producer Alex were worried about they'd be so early here. I'm getting up at like 6 o'clock in LA because I'm on New York time.
Oh,
so all of a sudden I'm like a super morning person.
Well, aren't you also waking? First of all, we have so much. I don't even know where to begin. We have so much to catch up on. You're on a television show, and I met Janet Jackson.
Get the fuck out of here.
Well, when I say I met her, I was less than 5 feet away from her. But to me, that's meeting Janet Jackson.
Can I tell you something? I am so impressed with your self-control that you didn't say that before and you saved it for right now.
What?
Let's start with... Just tell me about that, and then I'll tell you about the TV.
But first, I was in the Out 100. I was one of the Out 100 this year, and
yes,
my naked.
And the picture. If you check out the picture, Matteo has a chicken in front of his penis.
It's a rubber chicken. Originally, we were gonna do one where I'm like holding my crotch, and I was like holding a smiley face emoji. But then I think you could see my pubes, so they like picked the chicken one. I mean, I'm fine with both. I mean, my poor mother's like, "Can't you just wear clothes?" But
right.
I don't really give a shit. Anyway, so at the party, they have like the red carpet, and I got to walk it, which I hate walking the red carpet. I never know how to smile, never how to look. I brought my friend Patty.
You're good at it.
I'm not.
You do
and I
poses.
also like Photoshop the bags under my eyes. Like I just look horrible. But anyway, so all of a sudden the red carpet, like right before we walk on, Patty and I, they stopped the red carpet, and I was like, "What is going on?" And like, there's like all the photographers started losing their mind, and like the security, and I was like, "What is going on?"
Were you and Patty like, "Oh, they know we're here"? Yes,
yeah,
we've arrived.
I was like, guys, come on. It's just one naked photo. I thought it was like Kim Kardashian. I broke the internet. And my friend Monet Exchange was like, oh, that means Janet's coming. And I was like, what? And literally right in front of me is Janet fucking Jackson. And it was, I have to say this, the photos do not translate. That woman looks 18 years old. I mean, she looks so good. And the whole time I was staring at her, I thought to myself, LaToya,
right.
What did you do wrong? Like, your sister... Everything. I mean, your sister looks so good. You have the same genetics. I would look at Janet and say, whatever she does, I'll do. But something with LaToya went horribly wrong. And then she gave a speech, right? And so I was sort of with my crew, like a bunch of drag queens. And
was she with people? Like, she must have been with security.
Well, yeah, there was security, and they blocked. I mean, they had to stop the whole red carpet, and every gay was losing their mind. And then she gave a speech, which
it's like a danger zone for her to go to the Out 100, like dropping in front of like a bunch of gay men. Like that's like that would be pandemonium.
It was like the Who in Cincinnati. People got trampled and never recovered. They died. But when
Matteo killed a guy.
Yes, for Janet Jackson, and I'm going with Michelle Buteau to see Janet tomorrow. But I have another thing to tell you. Okay, so all right. Anyway, so she gives a speech, right? And in true gay form, where there's a bunch of gays in this goddamn room, and it's really loud, and they have a gay performer, and no gay is listening to him. I mean, this is gay 101. This gay guy is on a piano. He's so goddamn talented, and every gay is like, "Who's that?" Just chatting away, and then Janet comes out, and then it gets so quiet. It is silent. It is. And also, let me just say this. You have to be silent for Janet Jackson because she barely speaks. When she's up
whispers.
There, she whispers. She mumbles. It's like a fog machine. I mean, you have to really listen. And she's giving this speech the whole time. She's like, in my heart tells me that boop, 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 beep, boop, boop. I was like, did someone need to like burp her? Yeah, so I don't know. Anyway, so it's cool to see Janet Jackson, and I'm excited to go see her perform. And she, I truly believe she's. I don't want her to sing live. I want to lip sync. Lip sync all you want.
Really?
Well, because it's not like Janet Jackson's never been known for like vocal acrobats. She whispers throughout every song, and then she giggles at herself at every moment. Every song she laughs. Every song, all for you. You're always doing that. Who the fuck are you talking to, Janet?
Right.
So that
Also, I guess, yeah, that's a good point because the reason that you mind the Mariah lip syncing is she's known for her voice. With Janet, it's like she puts on
a show. She's dancing, she's moving, she's a fucking Jackson. Mariah, fine, lay there on your goddamn couch and sing your high notes. Who gives a shit? By the way, I know I'm talking a lot because I want to get to you, but I also I got in trouble for talking about Mariah Carey on page 6. Oh, I told you about that in the last podcast. I got all these like
No.
You
didn't say you got it in trouble when we were going to the show. We started getting the tweets.
Yeah, well, they kept
about what you said.
I got tweets for a solid week from Mariah fans telling me my mother should have gotten an abortion. So I said, I'm glad you're pro-choice.
The thing to understand is that, well, it's always good to find the positivity and stuff. But
Yes.
the thing to understand, Matteo is a Mariah Carey fan. That's why he's holding her to a higher standard.
Yes.
Like, I love Channing Tatum, and if all of a sudden he was making cute, you can't necessarily compare, but I love him. But if he was making all of a sudden just looking like crap and doing bad movies, I'd be like, he doesn't look good. Like, what's going on? Maybe he's allergic to gluten. Like, there's some kind of problem here. Because I care. It's because you care that you're saying, hey, she's not doing her best. Her fans are enabling her. And I saw that she left her manager. Did you see that?
Thank God she left Stella. She left that woman. There's a 5% chance we can get our diva back. But she left that fucking woman, and she looks good. She looks good. She's been losing weight. She looks happy again. She's not with that woman who worked her to death.
Because also toxic relationships aren't just romantic relationships. They could be friendships, family. We all can. It's like you can have people in your life where you're like, it's not someone you're dating, but they can be fucking you up.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's very true. I wouldn't know about that because I don't have friends or relationships, but so I wouldn't know. All right, enough of me. But real quick, we'll get to this in a minute. I'm singing Freddie Mercury for about 1,000 people tonight at the Hard Rock Cafe.
Yeah, how did that come about?
They asked me to do it. They said the goddamn Conda Jam's doing a show for Ron Bennington, and they're like, "Would you come sing Freddie Mercury?" And I was like, "You got it." And then I realized I agreed to something. Freddie Mercury is harder to sing than Mariah Carey.
Wow.
I
love Ron Bennington. Ron Bennington is such a good example, and this actually ties into internalized homophobia for me. Because sometimes when I meet people that are so nice and so in no way fazed by sexuality and in no way because sometimes there'll be people that are too into it, oh, you're gay, oh, that's great, oh, wow,
they're just trying to show you I'm supporting this.
Exactly, and you feel uncomfortable, or they're weird, or they're just real. And Ron's someone who's super real and just always been. He's a radio show host on Sirius, just so great, and it makes me feel because when people say oh, is it harder being a woman in comedy or a gay person in comedy? The fact that someone like him stands out so much because he's just nice and supportive and helpful and not homophobic or sexist makes me be yeah, I think it is pretty tough because when someone's just super wonderful, I remember them forever because it's there are so many shitty people out there. So Ron, I'm I love Ron Bennington because he's just such a great, and he's super not homophobic. You know what I mean?
Well, he's always supported my career. I mean,
Yes.
I've always had a wonderful time. I would go on a show, and I would bring Billy Stretch, and I would sing, and he never judged me for having a knee problem.
Never. And I forgot this, his old co-host was a gay guy.
Yeah, Fez.
Fez was a gay guy.
Yeah.
How could I remember being in there, and it was the third time I'm on the show, and Fez starts crying. Now, I did not know Fez was gay.
Crying? Actual crying? God, that's uncomfortable when people you don't know cry in front of you. I hate it so much.
Well, so Ron goes, Fez is emotional, and then Fez is weeping. And afterwards I was I think this guy's gay. Because for a straight man to be openly weeping, they would have been stop the show, or I'm fine. But Fez was crying and doing these little hand movements, and I was thinking I discovered something. And so like an asshole. I go, Fez, are you in a relationship? Which probably don't ask someone who's crying if they're in a relationship.
Right, because they're
if
probably
not-
crying because of the goddamn relationship.
Exactly. And then he goes, no, I haven't had a boyfriend in forever. And I was like, oh, he's gay? And Ron was like, yeah, he is.
Yeah, his
But that
name's
made me-
Fez, and he's crying.
His name's Fez and he's crying. But I loved it because a lot of times when someone's gay, they're like, oh, Emma, you're gay, he's gay, just so you both know, gay. And that's like something I do. So Ron had never said that Fez was gay, and that just was really cool to me too.
I have to say, I had this joke because it's like, and I forgot about it, but like, gay people are always looking out for other gay people. Like, we'll look for any hand movement. Like, who was that one football player that was really religious?
that
everybody.
twitch?
Who was the football player that was like super gay? Not gay, but he's religious. And what? Alex, do you know anything about football?
Tim Tebow.
Tim Tebow. That's it. And I remember there was a rumor that allegedly there was a rumor that he was gay, and there was like one video of him like moving his hand effeminately, and gays just passed that around. And it's like, you know what I mean? And that's all it takes. You do one hand movement, we're like, gay, I caught him, he's gay. And I also think that Mufasa's gay because he, Mufasa the lion.
The lion, yeah.
Yes, there's that one scene where Zazu comes over. He just like yelled at Scar, and Zazu's also gay. Everyone, by the way, in Disney movies, gay. And Zazu flies over and lands on his shoulder and goes,
Also not real.
they're pretty real. And Zazu goes, he'd make a very nice throne rug. And then Mufasa just goes, Zazu. And I was like, gay!
Yeah, I was going to say, I think it's confining for like straight people who then might get worried that their hand movements, because they should be able to do whatever hand movements they want without like the gay community watching them like, I knew it.
Well, I think we just watch because that's just natural for gays we're looking out for other gays to see, like, make sure we're not alone.
Exactly. Right. And then like anything, it's like when we look out for it, then we like have a tendency to maybe blow it out of proportion.
Well, every gay person, we're always like, I think so-and-so is gay.
And then we look for clues, and then if we get a smidge of a clue, we're like, boom, knew it.
Yeah.
Knew it.
Yeah. But there's a lot of people. There's someone I used to be friends with who, like, we caught at a gay bar a few times by himself, and we're like, what are you doing here? Like, that's like the, you know what I mean? And he's like, oh, I'm here with my soccer team, and, like, no one was around. And we're like, okay.
Like, you don't even play soccer. Did he come out?
No, he's married. But this is someone. This is someone from college, so
maybe he was just trying to see if he was interested.
I feel like fine. I should say yes because that's like the appropriate thing to say. But I feel like gays always know,
right?
You know what I mean? I can't imagine like I was gonna say my brother, but he's gay. Just there's no. But my poor cousin Michael's like one of the only straight ones, so it's like that's the only gauge we have of like who's straight and how straight people act in my family.
Are they like Michael?
Yeah, are they like my Aunt Cindy always says that. Like, well, this one guy made out with this other guy, and Kelly's like, my cousin Kelly's like, I think he's gay. And my Aunt Cindy goes, all right, let me ask you that. If Mike started making out with another man, is that straight or gay? And we're like, okay, yeah, you made a good point.
Because he would still be straight.
I mean, I don't think he'd ever make out with another man. That's the point.
Well, right, exactly, true.
Wait, so let's talk about you. You're in fucking Los Angeles. You've been there forever. I'm furious that you're not here. And
I've been away forever.
You're filming a TV show.
So this is what's happening. So I came in on I came in on Tuesday morning. I was with you at the college on Monday night. Come in Tuesday morning, and I go to a fitting. Now, a lot of times when you have someone dressing you, I'll be like, shit, because they'll put me in, like, uncomfortable clothes. Not that I've been dressed so many times, but the few times that I have, usually people are pretty good, but sometimes they'll be like, and here's a tiny pink sweater that shows, like, your belly button. And I'm like, what? First of all, feminine people shouldn't be wearing a belly button showing sweater.
Unless
like, what
you're
is
Shania Twain in, like, the late 90s.
Exactly. So there's always a little bit of like, when I go into a fitting, because also I'm going to have to wear whatever they want. It's a TV show. This fitting was amazing. These women and people behind the show are all like incredible. Like it's like a super like, there's a woman director, a woman showrunner. There's a bunch of women assistant producers. Like, they're totally great. So all the clothes I'm in
You're
are
on the
awesome.
Isle of Lesbos.
No, none.
No, I'm saying, like, wasn't that like the Wonder Woman island where everyone's a woman?
Oh, yes. Then that, yes. There's a ton of women. I also didn't realize when I got it, I was telling everyone, like, who my character is and what they are in the show. I wasn't thinking that that's maybe a spoiler to the episode and the season. So when I got it, I was like, I'm playing blah, 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 and I'm doing da-da-da. But I actually think I wasn't supposed to be doing that.
Why? They have to know who they're dressing. They can't just dress.
They have to know, but I had been telling other, like, anybody that asked, like, oh, you're on Crazy Ex-Girlfriend? I'd be like, yeah, I'm blah, 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 blah. But it's actually like a surprise. It's going to be like a surprise.
Well, it's not Game of Thrones. You know what I mean? Like, it's fine. And also,
they've got a very dedicated fan base, though. So all I'll say is I'm someone's girlfriend on the show who has never had a girlfriend before. But my mom, so I tell my mom, I was like, I'm on this show. It's on the CW, or you can watch it on Netflix. So she's like, I'll get it on Netflix. I call her. I think it was the next night, and she's like, I'm on the CW, and it's not here. And I was like, what do you mean? She's like, I'm watching CW, and it's just ads. And I was like, yeah, Crazy Ex-Girlfriend isn't playing all the time on the CW. It's just Fridays at 8 p.m. And she's like, I was saying, I don't get this.
How does your mom not understand what time of
She never watches TV ever. So then she goes on Netflix and starts watching some random episode. So I get another call, and she's like, who's this? What's happening? Where's their mother? She asked that. Where's their mother? So I was like, no, you have to watch the first episode for it to make sense. And she's like, I don't like that. Then she gets to see the first episode, sees the girl who plays my girlfriend, and she's like, okay, I found your girlfriend. She's quite something. I have questions. So she's like, who is she? Is she a lesbian? And I was like, no, she's not a lesbian. That's the whole plot twist. The character's never been with a woman before, but now all of a sudden she has a girlfriend. And my mom's like, so she's straight or bisexual? I'm like, she's just, I don't know. It doesn't matter. She's like, well, is the actress straight or is the actress a lesbian? I was like, nope. She's like, the actress isn't a lesbian and the character's not a lesbian, so who's the lesbian? I was like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if the actress is anything. She's acting. She's an actress. She's like, I don't know. She's asked me if the actress is a lesbian probably 4 times. She's like, she's not a lesbian.
What does your mom want you to do? Like, just be, yes, mom, she's a lesbian. That's what acting is. That's what actors do.
And this actress is so good. She's nothing like the character, which to me as a not actor is like beyond, I get beyond impressed every time she goes into character, because offset, she's like super chill, couldn't be nicer, so laid back. And then her character is just like, at least in the first season, is like this like kind of like diva townie who's like self-absorbed, and the actress could not be farther from that. So to me, like after every scene, I'm like, whoa, that was crazy. And she's like, I'm acting. I'm like, wow.
I mean, how is it memorizing the lines? That's the thing that I would be most upset. Like I can barely memorize my goddamn zip code. I mean, how are you memorizing lines?
Let me tell you a secret. When you first of all, you have to memorize all the lines. It's just like, I remember people saying like the hardest part of getting into a college is like just getting in, and then once you're there, it's easier. Like, or I forget what the hell the saying is. Like getting into Harvard's the hardest part. I'm too stupid to even relay the quote.
I was like, go on.
I didn't get into any colleges. Never mind.
Right.
But once you get the lines down when you're on set, they retell them to you. It's not stand-up comedy. So it's like in between takes, you can be looking at your script. You just have to have the cadence and the meaning down. But the actual words, they'll retell you the words. Like,
I mean, they really make
lines.
it so, and they should, because it's a lot of work, but they make it easy for actors. It's just like, okay,
They
then you
feed
say
you-
this.
Yes, they feed you the lines. The part that's really hard is getting the meaning behind the lines and conveying them in a way that's like natural and brings texture to the whole scene.
Excuse me, director. I have a question about this line. I find it
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I'm too nervous to ask like questions. So when the first day I was on set, I like didn't ask any questions, and that was probably the toughest day because then I saw everyone asking questions, and I was like, oh, we can do that. Like, all right, and
You know what? I think it's comedians. We're used to such grueling, difficult, hard, shitty,
Yes.
awful, terrible shows, terrible people, terrible audiences,
Yes.
driving hundreds of miles to perform for 6 drunks, that when you're
Right.
an actor and you finally get the actual fucking gig, it's like you're just what you think everything's supposed to be hard, but like it's not. Not that
And
it's not hard, but I'm just saying you expect it to be grueling, and it's like people make it so.
I was talking with a cast member about that because like on set there's some, in between takes people like run up and touch up your makeup and do your hair, and then someone will bring you like coffee or soda or whatever. And when he ran over and was like, "Do you want a water?" I was like, "Oh, if you go back there, I'd love a water when you're going back anyway." And he's like, "Well, I'll go get you a water." And I was like, No, you don't have to do that. And he was like, "It's my job." And I was like, "Nah, don't worry about it." She was like, "No, that's his job. He'll get you the water."
I did the same thing, Emma, when I was filming my Snapchat
he
show.
He put a straw through the top of the water bottle. He cut the water bottle top and put a straw in, and I was like, I thought I was gonna have to like give him like blow him or something. I was like, I don't know what you're into, but like I don't
You're like
do that,
tipping the
but thank
PA.
you. That's what it.
When
felt like.
I did my Snapchat show when I was in LA. Oh, by the way, it comes out at the end of this month on Snapchat. It's called Ghost Hunt.
Can't
Everyone
wait.
watch it.
What's it called?
It's called Ghost Hunt. I'll talk about that next. But,
Ghost Hunt?
Yeah, it comes out at the end of this month. And
Do you hunt ghosts?
No. I'll explain it in a minute. But I was the same way when I had PAs work, right? They'd be like, what do you...
PA is a term for production assistant.
And they just do anything for you. Like, if I was like, I don't know, whatever, they'll do anything. And so I was like, oh, yeah, like, I need a water. Okay, I'll go get it right now. I kept being the same way. I was like, no, don't worry, I'll go get it later. Don't worry about this, blah, blah. And finally the director had to be like, you have to stop apologizing to these PAs. They're here to help you. But I'm just so used to I just am so much that guy that I don't know. I don't have that like diva quality to be like, fetch me this.
Of course. And also logistically, it makes sense if you're needed some place and you're filming, it makes more sense for them to have someone get you water. So you're not like leaving set to go get yourself water.
Right, because they need you there. Or like they're like, okay, you need to be sitting in the air conditioning so you're not sweating. But you feel like
Sweating
an
your
asshole because
makeup
everybody
off.
else is like in the heat and you're sitting in a car like, la, 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 and then you're just...
The first day that we were filming, they had like a whole like table of like snacks, and then at the very beginning, she said everyone gets here at 6 a.m. for breakfast. So I got there right at 6 a.m. and there was this huge breakfast. There was a guy making fresh juice, but what there wasn't was any other people. Because I think it was like the thing where it's like, oh, we all get here at 6 a.m., but like everyone knows that's not true. So
Right.
I was there at 6 a.m. in a giant tent eating breakfast by myself because I was the only idiot that got there an hour early. So then around 10 o'clock, everyone's there, and there was a snack table set up, and they had different kinds of hot dogs, veggie dogs, turkey dogs, beef dogs. We break at lunch, and I go over to the table, and it's the same hot dog. So I was like, I thought that was weird. I was like, this is weird. They didn't put out new lunch food. But I grab a couple veggie dogs and like sit on and eat them. And then about 20 minutes later, an actress comes over and was like, hey, Emma, like, you know that there's food out there, like lunches out there. This is craft services. I thought that the snack table was also the lunch table. I didn't know that they had a whole other like lunch operation. And then I go out this door and there's just like a tent. They had like doubled the breakfast tent, and there was like cooks and salmon and chicken and desserts and fruits, like this magical thing. And she was like, "Did you think that the hot dog snack station was the lunch?" So I had eaten. I was like, "Oh, I'm actually not hungry. I already ate like 5 hot dogs because I thought that was the lunch." And she was like, "Oh yeah, it's okay."
Oh my God, Emma, I feel bad.
I feel bad for myself too, and I did think it was weird. Like I was like, "This is weird that they wouldn't put out new hot dogs. Like they weren't like this is strange."
But it's just
but
like
whatever.
Yeah, I mean, we literally we're used to drink tickets.
Exactly. So I was just I thought it was weird, but I wasn't going to ask any questions. And then when I went out, it was like, oh, I was like, salmon, fish, sauces. Oh my God. just like a beaten down country.
I was going to say, let everyone know you do not come from money. Let everyone know, because I'm the same way. If I see,
well, I'm upper middle. I was definitely like middle class, upper middle class. Like I shouldn't be anything that I am like shocked by in like niceness of living is self-inflicted from me choosing something where I'm not around anything fancy. Because I grew up with like tons of nice stuff, but then
Did you really?
Yeah, but I departed from all of it when I was like, I want to be in entertainment.
Oh, you're like Rose from Titanic.
It was like, because when I was a kid, I would go to like summer camp. I went to prep school.
Oh my God, Emma, are you joking? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
First of all,
I'm not kidding.
When you're from an Italian family like mine,
everyone goes to prep school, and my sister, everyone went to prep school. I went to prep dyslexic school, got kicked out, went to public school. But I grew up with all that stuff. But then when I was like, I'm not going to go in the same, I'm going to try to do something different, then that's when I started being like, wow.
Camp for me as a kid was just going to my Aunt Cindy's house. Like I've never been to a camp. Like that was one thing.
I went to camp. I went to Jewish camp.
We didn't even go on vacation. I had to share a room with my brother till I was like 17.
Yeah, I went to this Jewish camp because like everyone that goes to camp, it's a very culturally Jewish thing.
Yeah, it's very Jewish because I taught at a Jewish art camp once.
Ooh, was it Camp Kohat?
Yeah, it was just during the day. Like it was like they would be dropped off at 9 and picked up at 4. But I loved it. I loved
mine
those
was
kids.
Called Camp Kohat, and I remember having a crush on one of the counselors where I didn't know at the time because I was probably in like 4th or 5th grade. But I remember writing her like letters.
Saying what?
I mean, I can't even imagine. Like, probably, like, telling her about, like, my day or asking how her day was or that I thought she was pretty. Like, just like, fucking, and I'm sure it was undiagnosed dyslexic, so everything's spelled wrong. Like, I'm sure that
pretty of you today, bottle
exactly.
ice cream.
I remember her like reading them, being like, I got your letter.
Well, in your head, you're like, therefore art thou, I miss the day when we will see the touch of each other's love once again. But then she just reads like, never gone ever to Emma like food, you pretty.
I probably gave her my grilled cheese. Actually, no, I probably did
imagine,
not.
You know when like kids are like possessed and they like scribble uncontrollably in their books with like a red crayon? That's what I imagine
I still do that. That's me trying to write. I still do that.
Are you? Because I have horrible handwriting. What is your handwriting?
Horrible.
Like? Horrible.
My handwriting is. We should have someone. People can do those like assessments of handwriting, like, and then they tell you certain things about your personality based on your handwriting. We should get those done. I'm just afraid they'll tell me I'm like a serial killer.
I'm afraid that they're going to tell me that I'm a full-blown, 90-year-old woman. They're going to say, this handwriting is rare because it comes from Mary Berry.
We're both so gullible. We'll be like, are you gullible?
I'll believe it. I'll believe it.
Yeah. I'll be like, I'm a serial killer and he's a woman? Like,
No, not a woman. I'm an old woman.
An old woman.
Yes, in my early hundreds.
Have you been doing any dating?
I mean, that's a whole other debacle. We literally have 5 minutes. I don't even have the time to get into. We're gonna have to wait for the next episode because I have a lot to discuss.
Because I also want to talk about, and only if you're comfortable with it. I had a thought on the Louis C.K. thing I know everyone's talking about the Louis C.K. thing to death, and I've been getting lots of messages from people since I was with him for those 3 weeks. Messages from people like, "Did that happen with you?" And no, but if it did, I would feel very uncomfortable the way everyone's like asking me about it. But not at all. But it made me think, because in his confession, there was the thing he masturbated when he was on the phone with someone. Now, tell me if this is. There's been like a million times, give or take, where I've like hooked up with people while they're on the phone. Like when I start dating girls, a lot of times what I used to do, it'd be like a fun game. Like they'd be on the phone, and like I've had tons of sex with people while they're on the phone with someone else, and then it made me be like, oh, how bad is that?
I think it's, first of all, I don't know if you should be confessing this. And
well, no, because
secondly, I don't think you were ever wielding your power over somebody
else.
else.
Well, I obviously have no power, and no one ever knew. The people on the other line never knew, and it would be like me with a girl doing stuff to them when they'd be like talking to their banker or something.
I think it's different.
I'm scared I'm perverted.
I think everyone is. I think everyone's
That's
literally.
what I'm saying.
Everyone
When
is
I read
horrified.
that,
I've been getting apologies from women and men, like few, being like, "Oh, I'm sorry if I ever made you feel uncomfortable." I'm like, "You were joking. What are you talking?" Like, there's just a clear difference when when you're bringing somebody out with you and you know that they respect you and you hold a certain amount of power over them, and you cross that line and you abuse that power by getting off to it, knowing that they can't say anything about it. That's very different than like, two friends who are consensual and are joking between each other.
Well, also, I remember it, like, I have a very clear memory of it, like, maybe, I think it was like 2 years ago or something. I was with someone, and she was on, like, a business call, like a conference call, and I kind of started doing stuff to her, and then I was like, because, like, that was part of the turn on. I was like, you control your voice so they can't tell, like, I'm doing anything to you, and I'll stop if your voice changes. And so I, like, did stuff to her while she was on a conference call for work.
I can't believe that you're like feeling you have to get this off your chest.
Well, when I read that, I felt bad. I was like, wait a minute.
Everyone's doing that. Everyone's reading and thinking it's going to be me next because I jacked off in the 7th grade. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, we're all thinking the same thing, but it's like, I think there's a clear difference.
I just think I can't
I would love to see you in the headlines, though.
Well, oh my God, and then I'd be like, I knew but
lesbian CW star arrested.
Well, I feel bad about so many things that I couldn't imagine. Like, imagine if you actually do something wrong. How do you live with that?
I think
guilt?
I think there's a whole. I love how we have 2 minutes left and you're just like
I know, aren't I
diving
good at
into this
things?
thing. Well, okay, then why don't we just save this for the next episode, which you'll be here in person.
Yes,
we're going to be
we'll
talking
be
about my
next
dating
episode.
Catastrophe, and then
Can't
we'll
wait.
just talk about Louis the sexual allegation. I don't know, maybe not. Well, maybe we'll skip over. I just think it's been talked about. And
that was all I wanted to say.
Is that? I mean, I don't think you've done anything wrong, Emma. I think you're fine.
Okay.
I think you're not gonna. If you did go to jail, I would go sit and record with you in jail.
I appreciate that. Oh, that would be, yeah.
That'd be a very. Could tell me all about your experience. You go from the set of Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, where PAs are cutting off water bottles and putting straws in them for you, to jail, and whose bitch you've become.
Yeah. You think I would be the bitch in the relationship?
When you first go in, you have to be, right? You can't just go in and be like, I run this place and start making demands.
You want to know a secret?
Yeah.
I feel like I always am the bitch in the relationship.
I disagree.
I feel like I'm always getting, like, bossed around, kind of.
I completely disagree.
Ooh, I can't wait to hear more. I'm excited.
I have so much to tell you, but I guess we'll
do it on the next episode, and people go to MatteoLane.com and EmmaComedy.com, and we love meeting you guys.
And you know what? Tweet at us. If you listen to the podcast, tweet at us, because then we know what people like and don't like, and like what we can keep talking about. It does help us out a lot.
It does help. And we have some questions that we will get to as well. We did not forget. No question has been forgotten.
And no question will go unturned. Is that a phrase?
Yes.
I
think
know.
it's, but no question will go unturned.
Well, I'm very excited to see you this week.
Likewise.
It's going to be so nice to see you. I miss you, Emma.
Likewise. I miss New York.
Oh,
And you?
I see. You don't miss me. You miss New
No,
York.
I do.
I see what that was. That was number one shade.
That came out wrong.
I was like, I miss you. You're like, God, I miss New York.
That came out wrong.
I was like, okay, well, I thought I would be vulnerable and express my feelings to Emma. Turns out I can't even do that with my best friends.
That came out wrong.
I don't hear you
I miss
correcting
you.
yourself. I hear you saying it came out wrong, and now you're not correcting yourself.
I miss you too.
Now you've been forced to say it.
No, I miss you too. I miss you, and I miss New York, and I miss all the stuff.
Oh, please. Well, listen, son of a bitch. Go get your goddamn iced coffee from your PA who was cutting off a bottle and putting a straw in it.
I'll
right.
call you. I'm going to call your cell phone now.
Yeah. All right. Bye, everyone.
Awesome.
Thanks for listening.
Bye.
Take care.
Thank
Bye.
you for listening.